him, I've sent him a text message, and he didn't respond. Now he comes, you see he has the keys, so we didn't lock the house. Go to the bedroom, and something that woke me up was something that was very warm on my face. If you can see, I still have some scars. Something that was very warm on my face, but I could still feel pain. Me, I thought somebody has just poured water on me, but why am I feeling pain? Shock was on me when I decided to put on the bed switch light. And I was thinking it was thieves. I saw it was my husband holding a Maasai sword that already had blood on it. I tried to plead with him, asked him why he was cutting me and why he was doing this to me. And he told me, we are going to die all of us in this house. I want to kill you, kill the children, then kill myself. I thought it was a joke. So I sat on the bed, and that's how he cut me now on the forehead here. And when I sat on the bed, now he started cutting me on my head. I was taken to hospital on the face and my head. I had 21 cuts. So I decided to hide under the bed. And the next thing he did, he went to the kitchen, took a knife, and now went to attack our children. While I was under the bed, because he thought I was dead, now I had my daughter screaming. And this is how now I knew he had gone to the kitchen. And my daughter screamed and shouted for help. "Ui, daddy, usituue." I decided I would rather die than my children. You know that mind that my mother, my sisters can take care of my kids, but my kids will not die as I watch. So I just went to their bedroom. I went and I found him. He was just about to stab our firstborn daughter. So when he saw me, he was so shocked. He was like, yani wewe bado haujakufa.
Let's hold it right there. Definitely we will be right back. Let's take a very short break. Thank you so much for being candid and sharing your story. Dear viewer, keep it right here. Interact with us, CAK TV Kenya on Facebook and YouTube. Leave your comments and questions. We'll be right back.
Mfanyikazi wa nyumbani ama professional domestic workers.
Je, ni bora mfanyakazi au mfanyakazi bora?
We don't discriminate because bado wanaenda kufanya kazi moja whether wewe ni mwanaume ama mwanamke.
Ni hulka zipi unazoziangazia unapomtafuta mfanyakazi wa nyumbani?
Integrity, honesty.
Je, wajua kwamba ufanyakazi wa nyumbani ni taaluma kama yoyote ile na kwamba wafanyakazi hawa hupitia mafunzo ya kitaaluma na huhitaji kutunzwa kisheria kama wengine?
Mimi ushindwa kwani hakuna agreement yoyote. Wafanyakazi wanachukuliwa kama wanyama tu wanapelekwa.
Usikose kutazama kipindi cha Kazi na Mali wiki hii ujifahamishe zaidi.
Welcome back and thank you so much for keeping it right here. This is the Trauma Healing Program by the Bible Society of Kenya. Now before the break, Diana was sharing with us her story. You were at a point where now the God's telling you, wewe bado hujakufa. Tell us from there.
Yeah, so my husband now pointed me using that knife, and the way he was shaking, it fell down.
Okay.
And he was asking me, yani wewe bado haujakufa. But at this time, now when I was told to prepare a different meal, I came in a hurry and put my handbag at the dining table, just where there was one of the seats, I put it down there. So I forgot to take it with me to the bedroom. And this is how God helped now my house help to rescue us, because I had a spare key in the bag. When he came, he locked everywhere. But I had my key in the bag. So my house help had managed to go out and she started making phone calls. I had lived with her close to 7 years, so she was part of our family. So at this time now, my girls are rescued, and my brother-in-law tells me, support yourself on the wall. My sister she really tried, because she had just come from a cesarean section, giving birth to a baby, and she managed to carry my baby. Then my brother-in-law carries the other baby and tells me, kindly follow up pole pole so that we get out of this place. So by the time my brother-in-law got out, my husband got hold of me and took me back now. And this time he wanted to cut me on the neck. If you can see these scars, I was trying to block the sword he was using on me, because he really wanted to cut me on the neck. I'm fitted with 7 metal plates on my hand, and he also pierced my right side breast. But my brother-in-law managed to come back with one of our neighbors, and all this time, no neighbor is coming in. It's not that we were in bad terms, but remember, this kind of a woman, her handbag is carried, the car door is open for her. They go to buy skuma wiki together. You know, we used to live that kind of perfect
couple goals.
Yeah, couple goals. Yeah, so nobody is coming. Not that they hate me, but they're wondering, these people who love each other this way, how can we really go intrude into their issues? Maybe it is just something normal. But this really taught me to tell people, whenever domestic violence is happening, or anybody is going through a problem, kindly don't just be spectators.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be worse. You could regret and say, if we got in there and helped. So this time now, my brother-in-law, when they come with the neighbor, I'm rescued. I'm rushed to the hospital. But now my husband kills himself instantly in the house. Yeah.
Okay, that's very sad, but thank you as well for sharing with us briefly your story. Comments are coming in, people are saying that's very powerful. What I liked when you started telling us your stories, you mentioned that you had normalized certain behaviors because of how you had been brought up and how you have been taught. And I'd like us to look at that. And Cecilia, I'd like you to take us through this. What are some of the behaviors and characteristics that the society is normalizing to a fact that it is helping an abuser thrive? You know, because take for example, a woman is taught submit to your husband. So if he says call me every step you make, then call him to avoid conflict.
Yes. And actually, before I just give me a minute also again to explain the pattern which keeps people in marriage, abusive relationships. The pattern we are talking about, which made her reach to that level. The abusers, what they do is they move in a cycle. The first thing is everything is running well. Then if they get an event or something happens to their lives, and they feel angry, they have tension within themselves. And then when they have this tension, the best people to deal with, maybe somebody has had problem at work, the best people to deal with is those people who partner. Are the family members. So he goes, and so he has attention, he comes with moods which sometimes people don't understand in the family, where he's coming from, or a day, 2 days. Then what happens, he blows out, or she blows out. And then what happens is that they start now, they can either physical beat, or they just look for a way of hurting the family members. If, for example, if it is physical, they start feeling guilty, they have done something wrong, they should not, or they feel happy, whatever happens in them. Then they try to make it up by maybe buying flowers, or buying you something nice. And so you think, oh, this was a mistake. That's what she's talking about, normalizing. Then they take you for dinner. They can even take you out. They can even take you to Mombasa to enjoy yourself. Then it goes again until another thing happens. Then the tension rises, and the cycle keep on. That is the pattern we are talking about. And therefore, the person keep on. If it's a wife or a husband, they keep on waiting for that nice time. We call it honeymoon. Come time. Where even if all this, so says a lady saying, my husband is may beating me, but he's very good. The very good is just that a small period after the abusive event takes place. That is the pattern we are talking about.
Very enlightening.
Now you asked. Now we have cultures, and like where I come from, we have some words, some proverbs, which shows, for example, you should not believe a woman until her things, until when
they happen.
They take time. You hear some, you even the name of a woman, where I come from itself, means a woman should not talk about family things which are happening in the family, the community I come from.
Yeah.
And also we use, those are some of cultural which perpetuate some of these abusive behaviors. And even for men who are abused by women, because they are there, it's like a man should not cry, a man should man up. You go to the social media, you find a man saying that he's having a problem. The insults. So also that is very abusive for the man, because they could be suffering and they need help. And nobody is willing to help them. And nowadays, believe you me, as much as we have women, and I'm saying out of my therapies, men are also suffering silently, and there's nobody to be there for them. Then you have Bible, Christians, we got saved, we got born again, we are in the church. So again, we use the verses in the Bible. A good woman is the one who builds her house, Proverbs. So the guy can be messy, but it is the work of the wife to make sure that the family stands. Yet we know the family cannot stand by one spouse, cannot make the family stand. Or you hear like Ephesians 5, women should submit to their husbands, and men should love their wives, whatever the wife does, the man should love, you know. And you find these are some of the verses which are used to abuse other people in the relationship, even children. Children should obey. So they cannot even say anything, because we said it's not just spouses. They should obey as parents, and our word is like Bible. They have no room for negotiation. We don't want to listen and understand them. So you find all these patterns of sometimes we use the culture, and sometimes we use the Bible to abuse our loved ones. Yet it is not. That is not what the word of God says.
Sure.
Yes.
Speaking about using the Bible to to empower you as an abuser, we also have where the verse that says the man is the head of the family. So do not question his authority. And we have women of faith who are believers who will say, I'll pray for my husband and he'll change. So they keep staying because of the cycle, which I really liked it, because of the cycle and the good moments that convince them my partner loves me. And because they are hoping that he'll change, God will answer my prayer. But other than this, what then makes it hard for women, or for really even men who are in abusive relationships and marriages, to leave that relationship? Because when we look from a Christian perspective, we see that God hates divorce. You'll be told God does not like this, so why are you leaving your marriage? Go back, pray, he will change or she will change. But other than the biblical perspective, then there's this also, of course, societal expectation. You are couple goals that makes it hard. So let's talk about that. Dan,
what I will say, first of all, let me go back to the children, because they suffer too. And I will give example, because I have put my life outside there. I'll give also example with my children. My own children were really affected. And anytime you're not in a healthy relationship, it is not only affecting you as a woman, it also affects your children. And because they are too young sometimes even to make their own decisions, they'll just live there. But the moment you decide to break that yoke and leave, is when your kids now will start telling you, Mommy, we are now better off without Daddy, or Daddy, we are better off without Mommy, because we have said domestic violence is two-way. So about society, one thing that I will tell you is that whether you stay in that marriage until you're killed, the society will still speak. They are the ones who will say, why did she have to wait until she's dead? And I always tell people, because I have attended burials for those people who have been killed in marriage. The moment we bury you and we lay our wreaths, that does not stop us from stopping somewhere and eat our nyama choma. And whoever wants to take a soda will take. Whoever doesn't want to take a soda will just go home. That will not deny that person to sleep your kids will suffer. Those kids that are making you to stay in an abusive relationship, they will suffer because you're dead.
Yeah.
Maybe their father ends up in jail. Your kids will either become street children, or another family member who even doesn't care will take care of them carelessly.
True.
So to me, society comes last. Society is good. We are part of the society, but when it is about abuse, it's about an individual. Okay. Don't let the society make any decision for you.
I like that.
Even if you pack your things and leave today, and maybe you were hurt last night, you bled the whole night, the society will still say she cannot keep her marriage. If you die, they will say why did she leave? And also talking about society, on Sunday I was dealing with an issue where the mother is telling the daughter, can you vumilia? Because I've also not been eating butter and bread in this marriage. I also want to talk to parents. I always say, a daughter and a son who has separated because of reasons that could lead to death is better than a dead son or a daughter. Because what we will leave you with is a grave. But if he's separated, you know where your son is. Yeah. And maybe in future, if things can be worked out, you know where to find your daughter, you know where to find your son.
Yeah.
So I always say, let's not cling to that God hates divorce. God also hates people who kills each other.
Yeah, true.
So let's not just read the Bible and say God hates divorce. My pastor will miss a church member. I'm a disciple in a certain church. If I'm killed, that is -1 member.
Yeah.
So as a church, let's talk about these things. As a pastor, if you cannot tell that couple who have visited you, it's time to separate. That's why we have Cecilia.
Yeah.
As a counselor, she knows when to tell you, I think, and we never tell people leave. We tell them, I think it's time to do something. And I think that's what she will also tell somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is too much. I think it's time to do something. And we leave the decision to you. We show you everything and how maybe this is affecting you and your children and your future. So we let the decision to be yours. So for our pastors, for our deacons, it's time to sort it out to a certain stage and then hand it over to the psychologist.
Okay, Cecilia, as a therapist, I'd like to hear your opinion on that as well.
The Bible says that I'm a born-again Christian. Actually, my best psychology book is the Bible.
The Bible.
Yes.
Yeah. So, when it comes to marriage can only be built by 2 people. And as Christians, we have our marriage. And Christian marriage is dictated by the biblical principles of love and submission. Anything beyond that is not Christian marriage. It could be traditional marriage, it could be other marriages, and that is the word, the Bible, that is what the God says he hates. He hates marriage which he has initiated. We have so many marriages which are not godly initiated. So even when we are talking about divorce, we should ask ourselves, which divorce are we talking about? Are we talking of God's marriage or those other marriages which are not based on God's principles? And love works with submission. The second thing, these people who abuse others are not bad people. Let us understand this. These are our brothers, these are our sons, these are our fathers.
Yes.
With going by my understanding of why people abuse as a counselor, as a psychologist, the reason why these people abuse others is because they are lacking something. And some of these things, we call them personality disorders or mental health issues. These are people who are not well. They need help so that they can live well with other people. And therefore, what do we say that when we tell you, don't wait, when you are staying with a person who is mentally sick, a mentally sick person is a person with a medical condition, like any other person in the hospital today. This morning where we visited, we have some people in the hospital now who are having medical condition. what has happened in our society, thank God we are starting to appreciate mental health. So this person, what they need to be helped. So if you have a partner and you have observed this kind of behaviors, then that tells you most likely your person is having a personality disorder. And that disorder, especially what we call cluster B. Cluster B, we have narcissistics, we have antisocial disorders, we have histrionic, we have borderline. We have at least 4 categories who have interpersonal relationship. They don't know how to relate with other people. And therefore they need help. So we are not saying these people we should castigate them and throw them out of the city. We are saying these people are sick. The way a person can be mental, can be having a medical condition, and they need to go to see either a psychologist or a counselor or a psychiatrist, depending on the severity of the disorder or the problem. Because it means they were brought up most likely in abusive relationship, and that is what they copied. They copied the wrong way of doing things. So these are our brothers and sisters. Let us not hate them. We need to help them, and the best way is sometimes to help them is to tell them, you cannot continue doing this, because when you continue doing this, you are going to kill me, and kill our children, and you are not going to benefit, and not going to benefit. So as a society, please, let's help our wives, our husbands. If we find they're having a pattern we don't understand, let us look for
and I really like that, because it is indeed true, and help actually works.
Yes, it works. Yes,
because there's a story of a lady who was in an abusive marriage. They separated. The husband sought help, and they're back together, and the wedding is flourishing and well. So it is indeed true that this works. Just seek
it could
help.
be depression or anxiety. Depression which has become psychotic. So you find people killing others because that's something which can be helped. Yes. So let us not hate these abusers, but we need to help them to take responsibility to know they have a problem. By sometimes looking for different ways of helping them to go to for help.
And at that moment, it could be separating.
It could be separation because anybody who is sick, even pandemic, we're having what? COVID. We love our loved ones who are having COVID, but we have to isolate. Otherwise, we
also contact.
That's what we mean.
All right. Let me look at feedback on our social media platform. Facebook, Helen Jelagat says, Diana, you're a strong woman of God. God is using you to be a blessing to those who aren't aware of what they're going through in their marriage. Sam Cool, she's saying, tuned in from PCA we have... Okay, there was a comment by a lady who was tuning in from Juja. I think I've missed that. But yeah, thank you so much. Keep interacting with us. Facebook and YouTube is CAC TV Kenya. You can text us also through our line 011-2200-044 in case of any questions. As we come to a conclusion, my goodness, time is not on our side. There's so much to handle. This is such a huge topic. A lot of people are being affected as well. As victims need help, need to be heard. But even as we conclude, let's look at how victims of domestic abuse can be helped. I'd definitely like to hear from both of you. We'll start with you, Diana.
Okay. There are so many ways to help them. Number one, it starts with them. They have to open up, because I cannot address an issue that you have not told me. Because I will not be able to think around and figure out what you're going through in your own marriage. It's your own marriage. It's your own relationship. So it's you to come to us and tell us what you're going through. Once you decide to talk about it, then you'll get help. Immediately you share, and this is what also happened to me. Immediately I started speaking. I got people who were willing to help me to heal and also to grow, to become the woman that I am today. The other thing is we work with organization and in partnerships with people who have several toll-free numbers, and also they have safe spaces. If you see that truly I cannot spend the night in this house, and even this is to even the men, that I'm so angry, I might decide to take a sword and turn against my family. They are safe spaces. You can go somewhere, spend the night, and cool down, and then seek for help. So we have 1195 1195. The 1195 is a toll-free number hosted by the government, State Department for Gender. And when you call this number, you will get help. You can still, they do telecounseling. Maybe you've called Cecilia, she's not available, she's in a session. 1195 is always available with counselors on standby, and also the government is willing to listen to you and see how they can be of help. You'll be given referrals. There is also an organization we work closely, it's called CREW. CREW has helped so many women, especially during this time of COVID.
Yeah.
They support several safe spaces. You know, we are not allowed to mention where the safe spaces are located, but once you call 1195, you'll be guided. If you need safe house, if you've just been attacked, you need an ambulance, you will be helped.
Right.
You will even be treated at Nairobi Women's for free.
Okay.
Yes, as long as you call 1195.
All right, thank you for that. Cecilia, I'll give you 1 minute.
It's okay. The first thing is for the victim to realize that, especially Christians or other persons, that it's not right for you to be abused. Because when you allow people to abuse you, you are actually enabling them to sin. You are making them do bad things to a ghost child, and that is not right. You are enabling them. The other thing is, if you are right now in abusive relationship, you don't know what to do, seek for help. Go to the nearest church, go to the nearest hospital, go to the nearest counseling center, call your friends. Sin thrives in secrecy. Let us, you get help for you and your children, and you also help the person. Even go to the police station. Nowadays, mental health issue is, and I have emphasized, let us know abusive person has a problem, and therefore we don't not allow them to continue with their disease. Because that is how you fight people being killed. Look for help in the nearest place, and it is there, it's available. And even as we trust God to help with the other matters.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. It is not right to be abused. I really
No,
like
it's wrong.
Right. And I think that is what I'd like us to end with. Definitely very famous Bible verse we quote so often is 1 Corinthians 13 from verse 4, which is love is patient, love is kind. For if it is not that, then that is not love. So speak up, seek help. That is how you are going to survive as a victim, because as we've said, it is not right, and that is the only way as well you can help the abuser, by letting them get help to become better and to change. I'd like to leave you with a quote that states, at any given moment you have the power to decide that this is not how my story is going to end. So I'm really sorry if you are currently undergoing abuse, but at any moment speak up, decide that your story is not going to end in abuse. End it by speaking up and seeking help. Remember, the toll-free line is 1195. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Faith Kaulu. This is the Trauma Healing Program by the Bible Society of Kenya. Till next time, God bless you.